Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I'm doing my little should this team be in a bowl game actually through this camera angle, just so that way, it's a little bit easier on me, even though I'm using the stand, but I'd rather have it focus on me, not the schedule, so that way maybe I can process a little better when I upload it. But the first team we're talking about are the Colorado Buffaloes, who have a 5-7 record and a 3-5 conference record. Not the best, but also not the worst. There are better conference records out there. There's better win-loss records out there. They start off their year going against Colorado State and losing 45-42. So you start off losing a close game to a in-state rival. Not the best of starts, but bounce back a little bit, and they did against Arizona State at Arizona State, 19-14. Follow that up by having Florida State come into their place and absolutely demolish them, 35-14. So, you go from the low of losing to an in-state rival to a high of beating Arizona State on the road, back down to being demolished by Florida State, but Florida State's 11th in the country nowadays, so yeah. Then you nearly lose to Miami of Ohio, 41-39, giving your fans a heart attack at home. Like, oh my god, are we about to actually lose to a MAC team? Like that probably almost shocked a lot of fans, and I'm pretty sure Colorado University has a good medical team, good medical school, so hey, a lot of training right there would have been had right there. Then Oklahoma comes into your place and demolishes you 52-24. So, at least you didn't have a close game, but again, against a very good opponent, you're just not doing that good against, which is a little bit of a problem if you're being considered for a bowl game. And then they go to Waco, Texas against Baylor, and they nearly lose to Baylor 28-21. And Baylor is 2-10 at the end of the season. You nearly gave them a win. That is insane right there. And then you go into Manhattan, Kansas, and you get demolished by Kansas State, 45-20. So right now it's either close games or absolute blowouts. So you're either oh my god, the game is over, or it's already at times alright, the game is over. Click. But at least the next week at home against Kansas, you actually perform well against Kansas, 34-19 with a win. So, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. So right now you're sitting at 4-4. You're thinking, okay, we can just close out a few games. We can actually make a bowl game pretty decently, 7-5, 6-6. That'd be alright. Then you lose 42-21 to Texas Tech, which honestly, that passing game, I don't blame them for losing that one. And then you beat Missouri 28-18. Then you lose to Iowa State 27-31. Again, nearly giving your fans a heart attack. Then you finally get your bye week, after 11 weeks of having your Hearts fans either in their throat or already watching some other game. You finally get a bye week, just to lose by 8 to Nebraska. But, the close game to Nebraska could kind of be some leeway, but the problem is, they let teams like Baylor and Miami University, Miami of Ohio, I like to call them, hang around a bit too much. And when you're a Big 12 team that's supposed to be this powerhouse, be in this powerhouse conference with some of these other powerhouse teams, you can't really lose to teams like that. I mean, Colorado stayed in the Mountain West, they're an in-state rival. Y'all probably recruit some of the same players. So that one, it's like a toss-up. The Arizona State win, that was definitely big, considering, had Arizona State probably being a favorite for the Pac-10 early on in the year. Florida State lost, you get demolished by an ACC school that has probably more money, Same with lost Oklahoma, You may be trying to become a powerhouse, but Oklahoma is a powerhouse. So, there's that. Kansas State, though, Kansas State, it could have been a closer game, but Kansas State just started off the gates with a 21-0 first quarter and just ran away from there. But do I think that they are worthy of their potential spot in the bowl game, which I've already uploaded that video? Do I think they deserve to go to the New Orleans Bowl? The thing is, with Tulsa's a Conference USA school at this point in time because there's no American Athletic Conference in this universe. But, I think with how close a lot of those games are, they are, in my opinion, actually deserving of a bowl game because you want a bowl game to be close, so that way those ratings can go up. And when ratings go up, viewership goes up, and the amount of money that everybody makes from the game goes up. And college football's a business. That's plain and simple, You see it in modern day college football. Sometimes it's a betting war for some of the best players that go into the transfer portal because of the NIL deals, the name, image, likeness, where it's like, hey, we'll give you like $750,000 to come play for us. Then other schools like, we'll give you $1 million to come play for us. It's basically legal money that they're able to get nowadays. Before then, everything was under the table. And if it got out because of it being illegal, school got punished, players got punished. And a lot of times the players that would get punished are normally at the time juniors or seniors that go ahead and go up into the NFL draft. And they just receive their punishment in the NFL, It's like, well, I don't have to deal with this in college now because I've already left. See ya. But yeah, I think Colorado is deserving of a bowl game just because of them having a lot of close games. So, yeah, better have some Nexium around for whenever that game happens if you're a Colorado fan. And that's my review for if I think Colorado deserves a bowl game for being 5-7. Because there are a few other teams here that are 5-7, like Arkansas State, Auburn, although Auburn's got a 2-6 conference record. And they did have a 4 straight game losing streak against incredible competition. Florida, McNary Central, so yeah, with me being McNary Central in this universe, that's an automatic loss right there. Then Arkansas, then LSU. They scored 20 points in that entire run, while allowing, let's just say over 300, because I don't feel like breaking out a calculator right now to do that math. So yeah, you got that stretch that hurt their potential to be in a bowl game. So there's a few of those teams like that, and Arkansas State's not really going to get many looks because they're Sun Belt and, they're not really going to be willing to put a Sun Belt team out in the open as much as they would a Big 12 team. But that's it for me reviewing Colorado's case, and the next one will be about Indiana, the real-life defending national champions, which in this universe, if you told them that they would be winning a national championship in 2026, they'd think you'd be crazy, But that's it for this episode. Until then, I will see you all next time.